Dates and Mates with your host, Damona Hoffman.
My lovers, my lovers, my lovers. Welcome to Dates and Mates, the place where we make modern love simple for you. I am so excited about today's show. I brought my sexy voice for you. That's for you all at home. It's not really my sexy voice. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs because I'm so excited about A Question of Love voice that premiered this week. And I'm also so excited to be here in studio with my co-host, Ray Christian, the CEO of the Textbird app.
I'll be honest, that voice has me very aroused.
Really?
You got sick. It's weird. I wonder why. It's like you've been a little busy a little bit lately.
Yeah, yep. I've been doing a lot of talking. But I feel like the raspy voice can go either way.
It's a good look.
It's either like it's really sexy, or like, should I put on, a face mask? And I did some traveling this week too, and you know how, like, sometimes people from other countries they put the mask on when they travel, and I'm like, I'm not contagious, but I can't take it personally.
You kind of sound like a preppy Catholic schoolgirl.
Really?
Yeah. I can't tell you why I think that.
Thank you. I think. What's your bet? What do you think, Producer Thomas?
I'm a fan of the husk. A little bit of rasp. Kind of cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of the guys like the light,
Yeah.
girly voices.
You
I
can
don't
rock
get
it.
one of
You
those.
can rock it.
Actually, my friend and I, when we were traveling, somebody was confirming a reservation for us, and she said, she's going to be waiting for us around the corner. And I was like, okay. And we get there, and we're like looking for her, and like then this guy that was not her came up, and he was like, did I just call you? Did you get my call? And we were like, oh no, you just cannot assume. So people might be listening to this show and like, that Damona is a very very handsome man. Well, we have a very handsome show for you today. We're going to be talking about an online dating faux pas that if you are single and online dating, you're probably doing it. We also have literally the nastiest celebrity breakup of the year that's going to illustrate some of the modern dating and relationship issues that we talk about on this show a lot. And we got to talk about the latest Jay-Z Beyonce marriage counseling music mix that dropped a week ago. It's just the plot just keeps thickening, so we got to fill you in on what's going on with Jay and Bay. And also, of course, we have Textbird questions. Lots of juicy ones. And a love expose about when is the right time to say those 3 words.
And oh, by the way, we got a new fresh TV star. No big deal.
NBD.
Huzzah, huzzah.
Well, yeah, I'm really proud of A Question of Love. I think it's a real sexy show, right? And
I was digging it.
It is, and it's good co-viewing. And I'm not just saying this like to promote the show. I'm saying this as someone who's worked in television for a long time. It's hard to find a show that you can watch with your girlfriend and there's someone for you to relate to and there's someone for her to relate to and you're both invested in what happens. So for those of you who haven't seen A Question of Love, we have 3 couples that we follow for 30 days while they work with me and answer these deep, dark, dreadful, illuminating, provocative questions and figure out if they want to stay together or if somebody has to move out. So we have Ish and Amanda, Nikki and Jamie, Emily and Andrew. Ish and Amanda are from different cultures, and I'd say that's probably their biggest challenge. Nikki and Jamie, Jamie has 2 kids from a previous relationship, and that's a little bit tough for Nikki to swallow, and they're all moving in together into a family home where his mom lives there and also his brother, and it's a madhouse. And then Emily and Andrew are both moving in out of their parents' houses and in with someone for the first time, and they're younger, and this is like all new to them, and Andrew's mother is all up in that mix.
Momzilla.
She calls herself now Meddling Martha on Instagram. You can follow Meddling Martha. She's hilarious, but she really loves her son, but it's a process of him coming into his own and figuring out really who he is apart from his family. So those are the issues we're dealing with. I think there's something that everyone can relate to. What was like most? What did you think was the most provocative part of the show? Whose story are you interested in following the most?
I think Ish, that storyline compels me the most, especially the little teaser for like later in the season where he does bring her to the family, and like ish goes down, as it were.
It will go down.
And that part gets me. I think the part that surprised me was that I'm not a big reality TV person, and I got into it, but more so than just getting into it, because I think you can get hooked into it. I actually wanted to like sit down and talk with my girlfriend. I think it's one of the rare reality TV shows that is thought provoking to the point of like wanting to discuss topics that are in that show in your own life.
Yes.
Like I want to sit down before I move in with my girlfriend, if it gets to that at some point soon, and say, let's ask each other a few questions. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. And
like
I think
hard-hitting questions.
that's one thing I love about being on FYI. I feel like their shows really have heart to them and really are meant to inspire you to ask those questions of yourself. And I was not planning on plugging this, but I did write an article, the 6 questions you must ask before moving in together. And so that's up on FYI.tv, or you can find it through, follow me on Twitter at Damona Hoffman, and I'll link to that. But those questions are really, really important. And some of the questions that you see on the show are tailored for each couple. But there are some questions that I find a lot of couples just miss that are really important to straighten out before you take that step.
I like that every couple like seems to have potentially a fatal flaw. You've got Ish with the whole like religious issue or cultural issue. You've got Nikki with like the kids and the mom and moving in with his family basically. And then you got meddling Martha just all up in that business. It's like there's like issues that are like that really need to be addressed in all 3.
And there's something else that will be revealed about Emily and Andrew next week. So you're going to want to stay tuned. And by the way, I have a brand new gift to offer all of our listeners. If anyone is in a relationship that's feeling like maybe they want to ask some of these questions, or maybe it's getting a little bit stale and you need to heat it up, I did write an e-course called the Relationship Boot Camp. So you can get that at datesandmates.com. So enough about the questions of love.
Just go watch it.
Just go watch it. But there's more happening in the world of dating and relationships as it relates to you. So why not dish about it?
D's Dating Dish.
The online dating trend most of us are guilty of. There's a brand new term. You know I love to keep you up to speed on the terms. You've heard of catfishing, but have you heard of kitten fishing? So this is a made-up term, as they all are. But our friends at Hinge were happy to put a stake in the ground and say, this is our term. And we wrote about it first on their blog. And they basically just put a term to something that's been happening for a long time. Kitten fishing is basically a watered-down form of catfishing that everybody has experienced. It can be anything that you put in your profile that makes you seem more attractive than you actually are. So that could be lying about your job, lying about your height, using photo editing software to make yourself appear more attractive. Of course, the upward angle. You know, all girls do that. While I was
up and to the right.
Yep. While I was on my trip, I saw this girl. I was like doing a little video for Instagram and for FYI, and I saw this girl come over to me, and she's like doing the same thing, and we're both like with our upward angle. Like, this is just not real life, is it? But you just can't look at people straight on. It's a whole different vibe. Gotta have the upward angle. And then guys actually take their pictures from below to make themselves look taller. But yes, so kitten fishing, Hinge says, is well-intentioned, but most people are doing it and using outdated photos, ghost-written profiles, and they're saying it's a bit of a faux pas and people need to clean up their act.
You know, like the great philosopher Eddie Guerrero once said, rest in peace, Eddie, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I think, look, catfishing is terrible. Kitten fishing, I like the name. And I think it's gonna happen, and it's a victimless crime. You round up from 6 foot, 5'11" to 6 foot, or you round down from 120 pounds to 110. That's just good math. It's good math practice.
Besides, isn't like every job app kitten fishing like you've ever submitted?
Is that how you got this job?
I am not gonna say.
Where did you embellish?
Let's pull that resume out.
Yeah, right.
Let's go to the tape.
Yeah, well, I actually, I guess I'm guilty of telling people to kitten fish a little bit. like for the last 10 years that I've been doing this, over 10 years, because I always say you want your profile to be the best representation of yourself. And so I think it's really nothing different than girls putting on makeup and wearing their best outfits when they go out to the club. You're not looking the way that you roll out of bed,
Right.
the way you're going to roll out of bed the next morning. You're looking like you are a fish trying to be caught, right? So I think your profile should accurately reflect that as well, and should be you, but be sort of a heightened example of you, because people just make these decisions about what they're going to do with your profile in an instant. They look at your profile, it's either swipe left, swipe right in less than 3 seconds. So if you don't grab someone's attention, not literally grab someone, if you don't grab their attention online in a moment's glance, you could be lost in the digital shuffle, quite literally. So I'm in favor of it.
Me too.
Oh, there's something I'm not in favor of, Ray. Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. You know, I've avoided talking about this for months, but it just got too salacious, and I just had to throw my hat in the Rob K and Blac Chyna ring because there was this blow up on Instagram where Rob Kardashian. Okay, let me take you a little bit down the Rob and Blac Chyna memory lane. So they got together like a year ago, not that long ago, a little more than a year ago. They got together. Everybody was kind of upset because Blac Chyna has a baby with Tyga, who is dating. I always get Kendall and Kylie confused. Kylie. Honestly, to me, they're the same. I can't differentiate.
No, Kendall's way
they're
better.
they're all the same to me. Like, honestly.
Kendall,
It's
I think,
Kim
is the diamond
and then
in the
everybody
rough.
else.
But
Okay, Kylie. All right, so Kylie was dating Blac Chyna's ex. And so what's Blac Chyna to do but get herself the only available male Kardashian? You know, because, of course, Caitlyn's off the menu here. So what do you do when you have a Kardashian? You know, put a bun in the oven, lock it down. So they get pregnant, and then they get a TV show, of course. That's what happens next. But then by the time the TV show comes out, they're already broken up, and there's all this drama in the fall, and they're dragging each other through the mud. But now they have a baby. Oh, and she's so cute, baby Dream Kardashian.
I actually don't mind that name, by the way.
Dream Kardashian.
Dream, I can dig that.
Okay. Wait until we get to Jay-Z and Beyonce's babies' names. So, anyways, now he's hit her with a little bit of what Blac Chyna's lawyer is calling revenge porn. Calling her out on Instagram, saying like who she's sleeping with now. Apparently posting, I didn't see any of these pics, they've been taken down, but apparently posting some pretty salacious stuff. And then saying that, then he's bringing T.I. and Tiny into it, saying that they had a threesome with Blac Chyna and that T.I. paid Blac Chyna to be a part of it. I mean, it's just too dramatic. It's just too dramatic for words. And then apparently there's some NDA that all of the Kardashian people, like, have you noticed that?
Oh, that's right.
Chris Humphries has like never spoken about the Kardashian breakup, the Kim Kardashian breakup. I do know which one that is. Yeah. So he's apparently like he's even breaking the Kardashian NDA by even talking about Blac Chyna. So now he's bringing her into it, and now she's in breach of the Kardashian contract. That's contract with a K. I don't know how this is all going to play out, but I got my popcorn ready, Ray.
I'm going to go down a quick list for you. Lamar Odom, Scott Disick, Rob Kardashian, Kanye, Chris Humphries, Reggie Bush, and Bruce at the time, now Caitlyn Jenner. It seems like any male in the life of the women Kardashians tends to have some sort of fall for grace or some weird shit happens. All of them. Kanye went in the loony bin. Lamar Odom almost died. Scott Disick, alcoholic in rehab. Rob, obviously, just off the deep end. Chris Humphries' career went kaput. Reggie Bush actually started to suck after that. Caitlyn Jenner, different situation, but like things just get weird
Different situation.
if you're hanging out with the Kardashian ladies.
And you can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. But yeah, I guess Blac Chyna, she's got the last laugh though. So she's getting a ton of publicity out of this. And
I didn't even know who she was.
no, but she is Amber Rose's best friend, who also has profited from.
She's Amber Rose's best friend,
Yeah.
Kanye's ex.
Yeah.
What a cesspool.
Isn't that crazy?
Ugh, that's terrible.
Well, we wish them the best.
My last question to you
Bless
is,
their hearts.
I looked at the video, I watched it, and it says, and the lawyer was saying that revenge porn, I guess, which is this new term, is sexual assault. Like him posting this on Instagram is sexual assault, in her words. Do you agree?
No, I think that's confusing. I think it's libel or slander. I'm not clear on the exact difference in those definitions, but I don't think it's sexual abuse. But I think it is. It should be something that is prosecutable.
Well, it's done
do.
without consent, and I think that's what kind of the argument is. And I kind of get that. I mean, it was an intimate thing meant for a person, and he violated her consent by sending it out to the world at large.
This is the problem. This is again the problem. I think you consent to it when you take the photo.
Right. He didn't. They didn't sign an NDA about the pictures, presumably, and unless they haven't, I'm not saying go post nasty pictures, but is it against the law? It's against Instagram's terms of service. Rob has been banned, but like, is it against the law or should it be?
Well, I think isn't that what the lawsuit's trying to determine, whether revenge porn in general is illegal?
Well, I think what just happened
or it is
was
illegal, right? Isn't it illegal in
they
California?
got a restraining order,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it is illegal necessarily.
We'll crack open our law books
yeah,
and we'll get to the bottom of this. But I mean, Lisa Bloom is the person to represent her. If anyone is going to, I mean, she represents every woman scorned in the last 20 years of history. So go get it, Lisa.
What's that phrase?
Get that money.
Hell hath no fury.
Like Lisa Bloom scorned.
Like a woman scorned.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Ooh, talking about a woman scorned. Listen. Things are going down in the Beyonce Jay-Z camp. So I think on the show in the past, I defended the Beyonce Jay-Z relationship a couple times. There was a whole elevator incident, and I was like, everybody get out of their business. You have no idea what that fight was about. And everybody said, oh no, it was about Rachel Roy and Beyonce's sister is defending her. And I was like, everybody get out of their business. Their functional relationship, leave them alone. And then Beyonce's Lemonade album came out, and she was talking about infidelity. And I was like, maybe she's just an artist expressing herself and what she sees in the world. And why do people have to jump to conclusions? But Ray, the deck is getting stacked against me here. And I think it is no longer possible for me to defend this relationship because there was a video that Jay-Z dropped called Footnotes for 444. And he opened up about really his marriage, that he said it wasn't built 100% on truth. And he referenced things like, I don't deserve you. And, he's talking about infidelity, and he has a bunch of other celebrities talking about relationships. I think it's pretty clearly an apology letter to Beyonce. And something went down, but now they have 2 more babies that they've added to the mix. And I feel like I feel a little bit betrayed because I kind of defended them, but I think something's going down. I know producer Thomas also has something to say about this because music is his thing.
I think obviously Lemonade kind of dealt with Jay-Z's infidelity, and I at least saw 444 or 444 as kind of like a conciliatory apology. So isn't it a good thing for them that Jay-Z's now kind of like facing it and being public about the fact that he resents or he regrets cheating on her?
I mean, I guess it's, I don't know. I guess it's better that he's acknowledging it to her.
He seems to be open about it at least now, because there was like some kind of weird thing where he sort of denied it or wasn't addressing it.
But why does he have to tell everybody about it? Why do you have to make an album about it? Why do you have to make a video?
Well, when you're on that level of scrutiny, isn't that almost more of an effective apology? Or a PR, at least.
But they never even confirmed that it was actually happening, so you
true.
could just keep denying it and say, like, baby, this is between us.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Jay-Z is just masterful. Because it's an apology. Like, there's this apology out in the ether, but really, you don't know what he apologized about specifically. It's like a politician do this well.
But...
Well, he's not. There's no quote where it's like,
that's
I
true,
cheated
that's
and I'm sorry, which is like, it's actually kind of like a Donald Trump thing. Like, never apologize about something specific. But I think he did a good job of like saying, "Hey, I feel bad. I'm not gonna get." It's kind of cloak and dagger. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I feel bad about, but you can kind of read between the lines, general public. And so I think it was well done. I'm still a little bit disappointed in Beyonce because I wish that she could have been one of the paragons of walking away from a man that cheats on you. And she didn't or couldn't or whatever it was. And it kind of sends a message of like, if the man's powerful enough or has enough swag or whatever it is, yeah, just forgive him for his infidelities, which I thought was a missed opportunity, but it's her life. So
Well. I
So be
used
it.
to say that like infidelity was an unforgivable offense. But I think when you have a life that you've built with somebody, I think it's not just about his power. Like they have 3 children now together. They have a $400,000 a month lease that they have to pay for. No joke, $400,000 a month
Jesus. Where?
in Malibu. They just can't find the
400 a
right
month.
place, so they're just renting. Okay. And I feel like we don't really know what the process was. Who knows? Maybe she cheated on him too. We don't know. Maybe they're forgiving each other.
In that scenario, the 2 wrongs make a right.
It depends on what you and your partner agree to in the end. I mean, I don't know if I could get over it, but I have seen people come back from infidelity and repair trust in one another.
If your significant other creeps on someone with some strange, do you get 1 free I get to bone somebody else card?
That can't be healthy.
Does that kind of even the deck a little bit?
I would take one if it was offered to me, but
Does it even need to be offered? Is it implied? You got caught, that means I get a free bone.
no, because
Free bone. Throw the dog a bone.
I think that's just perpetuating a cycle of mistrust. So it's not implied, but I think it's fair to ask. It's fair to ask at that point. Twins' names have been released. Rumi Carter, the girl, and Sir Carter, the boy. What do you think?
Rumi. I think Rumi's like a famous Persian poet and philosopher. That's
Yeah,
a good- I
yeah.
like that name, actually.
And Sir is royalty.
Sir, like S-A-I-R, S-U-R.
S-I-R.
That's a little bit whack.
So then he could
He's
be
got to
Sir.
compete with Saint West, so maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Jay-Z
And
also-
Northwest.
Yeah.
Sir, that's like naming your son Buddy.
But yeah.
It's like, could you
Pal-
pick a more
Pal
ubiquitous
Carter.
word?
Sir Carter. Well, we have a little time to do a love expose. Why don't we move along and jump into a question that everybody is wondering: when is too soon to say I love you? We're not going to do a cue for this.
We don't have a cue for this.
We're working on the right
you
one.
guys have just rejected my cue and pretended it didn't exist.
Do you want the
No,
drums? You wanna
no,
get-
I don't want it
get a
now.
little,
No, producer Thomas, I don't even want it now. So
We need
there
like
was,
a Barry White, like, love expose with Damona and Ray.
That could be kind of fun.
that is our new cue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray, for bringing out your
Improvising,
inner Barry
yeah.
White. There was an article this week in Metro, UK, about a survey. YouGov, who I've never heard of, surveyed a couple thousand men and found that the most common answer of when you should say I love you is within 3 months. The second most common was within 6 months, but almost as many people said they thought that you should say I love you within the first week. Almost as many people said within the first week as within the first 6 months. Of course, first week is within the first 6 months, but you know what I'm saying about the timeline. So I thought this was kind of an interesting topic because I get this question a lot. Is there a particular timeline you think to say I love you? Or do you think you got to just kind of feel it out with each relationship? Or is there a point where you should be really concerned if you haven't heard I love you by then?
Yes. I think that the simple range I'd probably recommend to those out there is between 1 month and 6 months. If it's outside that range, something ain't right.
14% of men agreed with you.
That's it? That makes me feel better, actually.
Well, actually,
It's in
the funny thing
minority.
is the majority of answers were actually, I don't know. Because Guys are really helpful in that.
What do you think?
You're taking a
What's your range?
survey, and your answer is, I don't know. Guys, get it together. I think you're right. Wait, you said 1 month? 1 month feels a little bit soon.
31 days. If you guys hung out
You
three times
can't
a week.
love somebody in a month. You don't even know them.
My thing is like, what is love? No one even really knows what love is, anyways. To really articulate, it's kind of, it reminds me of religion. It's like when you really pin down someone, like, well, why do you believe in Jesus or Allah or Moses, whatever it is? Like, you can't really pin down exactly what it is. And same thing with love. It's like hard to really describe. So it's tough to give a perfect answer of when you're in love. But I do have a rule for this. I'm curious to get your take. My only rule, I'd recommend that range. My only rule is say it only when you feel it and when you're like 90% sure they're going to reciprocate with an I love you back. Otherwise, keep that under wraps.
But shouldn't it just be about expressing how you feel without expectation of the same response? In theory.
I don't think so, because if you drop the I love you and then the person looks off into the distance and goes, oh, I love the cameras and computers and water bottles. Oh, take care. Talk to you soon. That is like the most awkward, spine-tingling, skin-crawling moment in anyone's life. Don't do it.
Oh, thank you. Then you're just like, oh.
Yeah, right. And then it's like this specter that hangs over the relationship. When is that person going to reciprocate finally? It's like, do you want that in the relationship? No, just wait till you are reasonably sure they're going to hit you back with a, oh, I love you too.
I gave you my political answer, but I think you're right. I just wanted to stir the pot a little bit. But yeah, I think you don't say it until you have reason to believe that they feel the same way. I think that's true. Do you think that there's an order that it should come in? Should the man say it first? Should the woman say it first? In a heterosexual relationship, of course.
You know, I vacillate on this one quite a bit. I used to think it should be the girl.
Really?
Because
continue.
Well, because girls they tend to be a little bit more open with their emotions. And if you are the one in the relationship that's a bit more in touch with your emotions, shouldn't you also be the one that's more able to communicate your emotions?
So the woman should say I love you first, but the man should propose marriage.
I like that you just brought that up, because that's a nice little yin and yang. How about that? But
I did this. Now you do your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Having said that, I dropped the I love you first in my last relationship, or my current relationship, I should say. So I'm kind of a hypocrite. It probably, I don't think matters, but if you put a gun to my head, I'd say, girls, don't be shy. Just say it. Do you have a feeling? Do you think one or the other?
I have a feeling. I want to hear what producer Thomas has to say first.
Well, as a young, somewhat woke person on the front lines, I think we should do away with these gender expectations of who says what when or who does what when. I think when you love someone, and I do think it is, from a personal strategy point, wise to wait until you're reasonably sure they love you back. But I think, just say it if you're having a nice, intimate moment. Who cares if it's the guy or the girl?
Okay, who said it first in your relationship?
I said it first, actually. But I mean, it was... We loved each other at that point, so it was clear.
She didn't say, I love cameras.
She did not say, I love cameras.
Technology and stuff.
No.
I mean, the same thing goes for a marriage proposal. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you want to put that out there unless you're reasonably sure.
You got to be kind of sure you have it locked down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that must be intimidating for guys.
Is there, Damona, is there a number of too many I love yous in a day or a week in a relationship? Like, is it, once you've said it and you've broken the seal, so to speak, does it get too annoying if like every other hour you're like, I love you, I love you, I love you
You mean
too?
like over text?
Whatever, or in person. Should it be somewhat novel, or like once a day so it's special when it does come? Or do you believe in just showering someone with the I love yous?
I think it should be special, and when you're feeling it. Like, I'm not just going through my daily life like, oh, I love my husband, I love my husband, I love my husband, I love my husband, I'm going to text. But like, so it's nice occasionally when I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of you. And also there's ways to say I love you without just saying I love you. You can say, oh, I saw this and it made me think of you. which is a way of saying I love you in not so many words. I'll share my answer, by the way, to your original question, because I had it in my mind for some reason that guys should say it first, and Seth was taking just way too long. I think I mentioned this before. It took us 8 months. Did I tell you the story?
No.
Of how I did it? Of how I tricked him into saying it first? So we were on a little trip together, and we had made dinner, and I'd gotten him a card that said I love you, and I wrote a personal message in it. And so then I put it under the plates, and after we were cleaning up from dinner, it was like this note, and it was like Seth. And so, we had the romantic dinner, and then he finds the letter, and he reads it, and he reads it to himself, and then says out loud, "I love you." And I was like, "Ha! You said it first." I always talk about parenting through trickery. It's like relationships through trickery.
I like that
jujitsu.
story.
That's jujitsu.
Oh,
right?
that's some Inception. Last quick question: does the first "I love you" count, Ms. D, if it is said during coitus?
When you say it, you say it.
Really?
Yeah, completely. It counts.
Even if it's in the
Completely.
heat of the moment and you just said it, and you didn't really think about it.
That means that you really meant it.
Okay.
You spoke
Okay.
your.
Okay.
We said
Your
it during a
most-
fight, interestingly enough. But that's aside. Just another
Ooh,
anecdote.
I want to hear about that later. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to show you a little promo of A Question of Love, and we'll be back with Technically Dating, with Techspert questions, and much more dates and mates right after this. Stick around.
You ready for this?
Yep, here we go.
Yeah. I'm really nervous.
When do you think we'll be ready for marriage?
Good question. I don't know.
We're moving in together for the first time.
To our brand new book. Love you.
I lied and hurt a lot of people.
You burned me a few times, and that's when I was just like, no more.
Do you think our love can overcome our cultural differences? I haven't even met your mom.
My mom doesn't even know that you even exist.
I'm gonna be responsible for your kids.
Why would I do that? Have I ever asked you for money?
No.
Get it together.
You know he have somebody in his life.
She needs to know who you are.
I don't want to do this at all. I don't like crying on camera. I don't want to do this.
You can't lie to the girl. You gotta tell the truth.
If you're my sister and you have love for me,
Go over there and be honest with her.
do you want to stay in this relationship?
Welcome back to Dates and Mates. It's me, Damona Hoffman, certified dating and relationship expert, here with Ray Christian, the CEO of the Techspert app. Ray, for those who are watching the live stream on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Damona Hoffman, they can see your beautiful Techspert shirt. Is this a new edition? Where can people pick up their Techspert shirts?
This is high fashion. It's hot
Can
off the
people see it?
presses.
No, people can't see it. Stand up a little bit. Sit.
There
yeah,
we go.
don't slouch. Be proud of your Techspert. There you go. Okay, all right. Your nipples are getting hard.
I like
Stop.
that.
Yeah.
My nipples
Gotta
are at a
put the
constant
sensor bar.
state of arousal. These things could cut diamonds.
It's the show. It's the show.
Yeah.
So too hot for TV.
It's we actually may start offering them for the Techspert of the week, so you can get points if you get upvoted and chosen.
I saw
We're giving
that.
out awards now, so if you win, we're gonna start giving gifts, and one of them may be a T-shirt. We're giving out like some gift cards and a donation to the charity of your choice if you're the number one for the week. So we're trying to give back to the community, and actually T-shirts was one of the things we thought of. So we might give out this fresh piece of hot fashion to our best users.
I love it. And I want to win. So I'm going to go on Techspert, and I just post a question, and then
If you give advice
And I give
throughout the
advice.
week and get a lot of upvotes, get a lot of chosens as the favorite, a lot of points will start to rack up, and then you get to be the winner.
it would be unfair actually if I did that.
I know, it's like professionals
ringer.
versus amateurs. I don't
Yeah, right.
it ain't
Right.
fair.
Pros
But
versus hoes. Nos.
Well-
Bros.
Damona, we went ransacking the nearest village for the best Techspert questions,
Okay.
and we pulled some good ones. Shall we dive in?
Okay, let's go.
Technically dating.
All right, we got a young gent. He says, my girlfriend asked me if it was okay for her to chill with the guy I've been having suspicions of her cheating on me with. When I said no, she got all mad and started crying. Like, WTF? I don't want her hanging out with the guy who's always hitting on her. I've seen something he texted her once, and he called her babe, and it pissed me off, and now she wants to chill with him. Should I just end it?
I don't know if you should end it, but I am with you. What is this? Mail from somewhere. Mail K from somewhere. I'm with you. WTF, your girlfriend. Oh my God. She should not be hanging out with this guy if it makes him feel uncomfortable. Period. The end. He told you it makes him feel uncomfortable. It's not going to ruin your life to not have a friendship with this guy. If it bothers your boyfriend and you love him, knock it out. Mm-hmm. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
And why is she crying about it? Clearly, if she's all kinds of upset about it, she knows she's doing something she ain't supposed to be doing, right?
So the cut it out you just did, you know where that's from?
Yes, I do. It's from Dave Coulier in, what was it? What was the name of that Nickelodeon show?
Full House. Nickelodeon?
No. It started before then. He used to do it in a Nickelodeon show.
Oh, really?
What was the name of it? See, I'm just too old for you people here. And then it followed him onto Full House.
In one of the most disappointing revelations about a diss song, we found out later that Alanis Morissette's song about what was the one? I forget what it was called. Do you know?
You Ought to Know.
You Ought to Know, which is just a roast.
It's actually about Alanis. That's like the one part of music I actually know.
It's about Dave Coulier.
I know. That was the prime of my life.
Like, who knows? Who knew he was a dirt dog?
How old were you when Jagged Little Pill came out?
I might not have even been born
Shut
yet.
up.
What is it, 90?
Really? 90? No, I think it was 95.
Oh, I was 2 years old.
Jesus.
I had not yet discovered music, really.
Oh, my God. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. It was 95. I am good with Alanis history. Yeah, cut it out. Right? She's got to cut it out.
I hate to say it. She's on the lowdown. She's creeping. She's definitely messing with this guy, and she gots to go. That's a bad look, and I also hate that she cried. I recently found out somebody I know, I'm not going to mention who, can cry on demand, and I'm like, no, I don't even know if I should trust any of your cries with those alligator tears over
Not
here.
me.
Well, I know. I'm giving you the
I'm like,
look.
Me, you, producer, Thomas.
He's crying.
Tony, I don't know.
No, it's an unnamed person, but I hate that she applied the cry. It said, I just want to hang out with them. Why do you?
No, it's a guilt
girl,
cry.
Yeah, you're cheating.
It's
you're
a guilt cry. She
she
couldn't control herself. It's not an alligator tear cry. It's like, oh snap, I've been caught cry. But should he really end it?
Yes. Yes.
Just like,
give her the niche, the hard.
And this is not a jujitsu kind of situation. This is not like, I'm protecting myself. You have to go. This is bye.
Depending on how trifling you want to be, I would do something like, yeah, you know what? You should go hang out with them. Make some plans. Because guess what? You're single. We're over. Bye-bye.
Ooh. I felt that burn. Yeah. Ow. Yeah.
All right. We have another question from a young dame. She says, do you guys believe that a man who is not very affectionate can become affectionate in time? Or is this the way he will be forever because it's part of his personality?
I wish I knew said man who cannot be affectionate, because I think there are some people that just have different levels of comfort with being affectionate. If she's talking about PDA, if she's talking about like he doesn't want to be touched at all, it might be him, but it might be you. And so I wish I knew more about the situation, because I feel like it could be that she is just much too much. And it's kind of pushing him away and making him pull back. In general, most people like to have some level of affection, especially if you're in a relationship with someone. I think people overall don't change over time, but they do change in different situations. So it's probably you. I hate to say it, young dame.
This makes me think like what kind of person, what kind of monster doesn't like something like cuddling? What kind of awful monster doesn't like cuddling? Who doesn't like?
For those of you who don't remember,
you're pretty anti-cuddle, right, Damona?
I'm not a big fan of cuddling. And now Ray thinks I'm the Antichrist because of it. I just get hot.
It's
and
hot in the
sweaty.
summer months.
Terrible
Yeah.
practice of cuddling.
Especially in the summer
it's
months.
It's not good. You take a break from like June to August with cuddling.
I
but-
did cuddle last night for like a good 90 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm a fan of the touchy. I like it. Maybe I'm a little squishy. Maybe I'm a softie, but I do like it. But I would say to her, it's going to get worse. Because I think affection and sex and all that stuff, it indubitably will dip over time. So if he's not affectionate now, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
All right, you heard it here. It's not looking good, girlfriend.
Come here, just cuddle for me a second.
I'm not comfortable
Just for
with
a
that.
second,
I'm
come
not-
on. It's nice and air conditioned.
No, it's actually really hot in here. Here we can touch pinkies.
Pinky touch.
Oh, that's too much.
Oh, my nipples. Oh, my God. All right, we have
An electric jolt went through.
we have a question from a young lassie.
Jolt of repulsion that he felt.
She says, how do I break up with a controlling boyfriend? He always manipulates me into saying things and makes me feel like it's my fault that he does bad things. And he always asks me to say that I'll never leave him ever. And I always end up promising that I won't, but I can't deal with it anymore. Also, he said he would never leave me ever, which kind of scares me. Because what if he starts to stalk me or does other scary things? By the way, I haven't told anyone about him except for the large public that just heard about it here on Dates and Mates.
I think she needs to call Lisa Bloom and get a restraining order, right? Yeah, that's a little bit scary, I think. The I will never leave you ever. That's like the kind of stuff you hear in a horror movie, right? Like I'm hearing horror music like duh, duh, duh. I can't sing right now, but like I'm hearing like a creepy music box. Like I will never leave you ever.
Yeah.
It's like the stage 5 clinger from Wedding Crashers. I'll never leave you. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, controlling boyfriends, nothing to play around with. And I feel like this is the breakup show with the questions that we've had so far. But you should not feel controlled in a healthy relationship. And if he cannot tolerate your actions and he cannot give you the freedom to live your life, he should not be with you. And he should not want to be with you forever and ever and ever. And he definitely should not stalk you because that is restraining order time. And he definitely should not revenge porn you.
Damona, when I'm elected president in 2024, I'm going to make it a law that anybody that says, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself, becomes a crime. That's a crime. There's a special place in hell for people that do that, I think. And this is like a cousin. Rob Kardashian. That's what made me think of it, actually.
Oh.
He said that to Blac Chyna.
Ooh.
And that's the thing that people do.
Don't play with that.
I'm going to kill myself if you leave me. It's like, oh, that should be...
There
that
is
should be,
a very dramatic breakup letter that I hope has been destroyed from my past. Where I didn't quite say that.
Get on it, internet. Let's find it.
Right.
Oh my God! I hope it is. Hope it's been burned and incinerated by now. I so regret writing it, but I said something not that dramatic, but like I won't know what to do.
I can't live without.
I can't live without. It was bad. I hope it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, the
we say
emo
things.
19-year-old Damona.
Yeah.
Was this what the
20?
Around the time
It's
you were
not
fake
important.
smoking to meet the poet?
Slightly after, but yeah. I know. I used to be so emotional. Now I've just had to cut off all human interaction. And
I feel nothing.
I feel great now.
I hate cuddling.
But enough about me.
Well, it's getting easier and easier now. Like block on Instagram, social media, on the phone. And if need be, the drastic move is get a restraining order. But it's getting easier to cut people out.
But shouldn't they break up first?
Okay, so let's say that's the stage where she's worried he's going to stalk if she ends it. Because it sounds like she wants to end it. In the interim, while they're still dating, I would say actions speak louder than words. Punish bad behavior. If he's all over you, back off. Ignore some texts. Cancel some plans. Scale down from 5 times hanging out per week to 2. And because you're busy, you got stuff to do. Start to train him. And when he invariably will say, well, what's up? What's up? I want to see you. What's going on? That's when you say, now the platform has been established that you can talk about this topic. And you say, I'm glad you asked. Because here's the issue I'm having. we're hanging out too much and you're giving me the willies. Something's off with the vibe I'm feeling right now, and I need to get a little bit of space. I don't want to break, but I need space. And this is what's going to happen for the foreseeable short-term future.
Yeah, but if she feels threatened right now, like, don't mess around. Get on out of there.
True.
If she really feels threatened.
All right, now we're going to put on the dating expert detective hat. Good thing we got a TV star. We have a young genderless wonder who says, I think my girlfriend is cheating on me, but I'm not sure. Any tips? Dun, dun, dun.
We gotta do some digging in the cyber detective arena. Okay. First, I like going the human route first. Before you go on the stealth route, I like it first. Just have a conversation. And don't accuse her, but just suggest that things are a little different. And so say, I found this thing, or I have this weird feeling, or, somebody said that they saw you with this person, and I thought that was strange, but you wouldn't be doing anything weird with them, right? And then you let their guilt eat away at them, because if they are doing something, then you'll get a situation like the earlier question where they break down crying or they get super defensive. And if it's just a no, you'll get a normal response like, what? No, that's so weird. No, of course I love you. But if there's something wrong for real, you can probably tell in their response. And that's when, if they don't admit to it, then you can start to do a little bit of digging. And you can kind of see, when they're in the shower, what messages are popping up on their home screen. You can kind of ask around, hey, have you seen her hanging out with anybody? You can kind of ask around until you get enough evidence to present a case.
I like that a lot. I like the concept of basically saying, you can be vague about it. Go to them and say, my friend saw you with another guy or another girl. Is there something going on? And they can say, well, who was it? I'm not going to release that. Well, where was it? That's not important. Because technically they've probably been with some guy somewhere, even if it was at work or something. They've been near a guy, chances are. And you can judge from their reaction. You got to become an expert in body language, but that's brilliant. I was going to say create I couldn't do this myself, but create a catfish fake Instagram of if you're a guy, a hot guy, and build up some following just so you can pull that card and catfish your next girlfriend to see if she'll bite on some dude hollering or vice versa. But I think that way is good. And just also, I wouldn't be afraid of the concept of I'm sensing something's off with us. Are you cheating on me?
Just straight up. Boom.
Judge from their reaction. And especially if you've seen them react in other tough situations when they have told the truth. Actually, you can even build a kind of a database of ask them tough questions that you know the true answer to. Let's say that they have a bad relationship with their father, or that they don't like their last job. Ask them a tough, uncomfortable question that the correct answer. See if they tell the correct answer. Study their body language. Does their left hand scratch their right cheek? Do they look up and to the right? Do they look up and to the left? And you realize, okay, even when they're uncomfortable, when they're telling the truth, they do these things, these body language patterns. And then wait a week or so and bring up another uncomfortable topic I heard you were with another dude somewhere. Are you cheating on me? Again, another uncomfortable topic, but the only different variable is the cheating. So,
and then if they scratch the left cheek,
got 'em.
Boom. That's really brilliant, Ray. That's really brilliant. It's you set up the norm
baseline.
And then the baseline. Yeah. And then if you see a variation, you know what the truth is. Ooh, I love that.
Who are you doing a co-host with last week? My friends said they saw you talking with somebody.
Absolutely no one.
So, do we have time for one more question?
Unfortunately not, if we want to stay on time.
Deucer Thomas cracking that whip. All right. We have more questions, but I guess you'll just have to tune in next week to hear what other provocative questions have been posted on the Techspert app. Make sure you download the app so you can post your question and dole out some advice, and maybe you can win a snazzy new T-shirt or some other fabulous gifts from the Techspert fam. And hop on over there to datesandmates.com. You want to learn more about the show. You want to see recaps of past episodes, hear recaps of past episodes, read recaps. There you go. And listen to past episodes. And also get your free gift if you want to get our free workbook or you want to get the Relationship Bootcamp e-course. Hop on over to datesandmates.com. We've got that for you. We will see you again next week when we have Nikki Sunshine from A Question of Love. And, of course, A Question of Love is every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on FYI television.
Go watch it.
Go watch it. And, by the way, if you love this show, why not subscribe to this show, to Dates and Mates, as well. We'll see you next week. And until then, happy dating.